I've been testing this air purifier for a month, and I've been testing most of the regular things I would on a purifier, such as noise level, how dirty the filter gets, but with this purifier, I've also been focused on the air quality sensor that it has. And full disclaimer, this was sent to me for a review, and while that doesn't change what I say about the product, I like to give a heads up. So when the company reached out to me and asked if I was interested in reviewing this, I thought the sensor would turn out to be a gimmick, but I figured I'd give it a try to at least save some people from wasting their money. And to my surprise, the tests have actually shown some interesting results. But I'm getting ahead of myself, and first I want to go ahead and cover the basic setup and the features. So the first thing to do is remove this front panel, because the filter's in a bag, and as I was taking the filter out of the bag, I actually noticed it was really well made. It was thick, it had padding along the sides and arrows showing the install direction, as well as these little tabs on the sides for easy removal. It's built pretty standard, with the first filter layer for catching bigger dust particles, then the main H13 HEPA filter inside that catches the smaller particles, and the last layer is activated carbon. And with this filter, you can actually put it up to the light and you can see the little pellets inside the filter that can remove the harmful gases, smoke, and volatile organic compounds, or VOCs. Once you replace the filter and close the cover, it's ready for use. And using it is pretty simple. It has a few buttons on the front. The first button is a lock button that makes sure you don't press the other buttons on accident. Then you have the button for the light. The first press turns off the blue light. The second press turns off the display. This is good if you have it in a bedroom and you don't want any light. And then the third press just turns both of them back on. Then you have the timer button, which just cycles through 2, 4, 8, 12 hours and then timer off. On the other side, you have a fan speed, which has the sleep setting, then first, second, and third speed. And then you have the auto speed and the on-off button. The auto speed is actually a really nice setting because it will adjust the speed of the purifier depending on the air quality in the room. And naturally, talking about the speed settings brings me to the amount of noise this thing makes. And this is where I would say this purifier struggles a little bit. I know it's designed to move a lot of air, and they say it can cover up to 1,740 square feet, and it's very hard to make that quiet, but this is it in the sleep setting, and in a room where the ambient sound is 25 decibels. At 1 foot away, the noise level was about 27 decibels. At 5 feet away, it was not picking it up at all. So it was just showing the ambient room noise on the sensor. This is what the first speed looks like, and at 1 foot away, the noise level was about 42 decibels. And at 5 feet away, the noise level was about 32 decibels. And this is what the second speed looks like, and at 1 foot away, the noise was about 52 decibels. And at 5 feet away, the noise level was about 40 decibels. And on the third speed, which looks like this and is the highest, at 1 foot away, the noise level was about 58 decibels, and at 5 feet away, the noise level was about 47 decibels. So in my opinion, I'd say it's a bit too loud for use in a bedroom, but I still think it would be great for something like a living room. So I wasn't sure how to check the air quality sensor originally, but then I got the idea of using rubbing alcohol. It creates vapors, so if the sensor is accurate, it should pick them up. And here's the purifier working on the first speed, and I go ahead and I put some rubbing alcohol on my hands and spread it out so it starts forming vapors. From my experiments, the amount of time it takes for the air quality indicator to change will depend on how many particles are in the air and how fast the purifier is going. So here in a room of about 12 by 11, at the first speed, it took about 40 seconds for the indicator to pick up the air quality change. But we had some forest fires near us, and pretty much as soon as we open a door or a window, the air quality indicator would change within 20 seconds. It also picks up on things like household cleaners being used or even vacuuming. I was honestly so sure this was a gimmick at first, to the point where the first few times it accurately changed with obvious changes in air quality, I wrote it off as coincidence. But it turned out to be a useful tool that I now use to decide if I need to run my air purifiers. As to how well it cleans, I have a dust allergy, so we keep our house very clean, but after a month of use, there were some larger dust particles collected in the outer mesh, and I just use a vacuum to clean those up from time to time. You can use a cloth, but I find it doesn't do as good of a job. Also, if you look at the main filter, you can tell that there are thousands of tiny little particles trapped in there, and the color has definitely changed. Those filters are good for 3 to 6 months depending on use. The air purifier has a warning light that comes on when it's time to change. So overall, aside from being slightly too loud, I'm very impressed with the build quality and the functioning of this air purifier, especially the air quality indicator. I think it's definitely worth checking out.